And we're live. Welcome to the Women in Business Collective, where we talk with exceptional leaders about tackling the challenges that women face on their journey to the top. This is always so exciting for me. I'm Susan Baroncini-Mo, and this is what I've been doing for the last 18 years, talking with exceptional women. And I'm so excited that I get to share them with you now. So my guest today is Sarah Dandashy. I hope I said that. Did I get that right?
Yes. So here's the thing. I'm half Lebanese, and I pronounce it Dandashy, but because it is Lebanese, you can say Dandashy, Dandashy. It's however it's translated. So that was perfect.
How do you say it?
I say it Dandashy, but my dad says it Dandashy.
Okay, Dandashy. All right.
So it's okay.
Okay. Then my guest today is Dandashy or Dandashy, however you decide you want to say it. She is, my guest today is Sarah. She's an award-winning concierge based in Los Angeles with over 15 years of hotel experience. She's also the host of the online travel show Ask a Concierge, where she shares what to eat, see, and do in LA and around the world. Hi, Sarah. Welcome officially to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's so much fun to have someone who also has a show on the show. That's so much fun for me. So tell us a little bit about your story, where you've come from, how you got where you are today, the whole scoop.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so as I mentioned before, I actually am half Lebanese. So although I was born in the States, I actually grew up overseas. So I lived in a couple of different places as a kid. I lived in Saudi Arabia until I was 6 years old. I lived in London, England, Pennsylvania, Atlanta. I went to college in New York, lived in DC for a bit, and I've been in Los Angeles now the past 13 years. When I moved to Los Angeles, I had dabbled in working in hotels when I had lived in Washington, D.C. I had started at the Four Seasons Georgetown while I was going to Georgetown. And so when I moved out here, I'm like, oh, cool. Let me check out working in hotels for a little bit. Well, lo and behold, fresh on the scene to the city, they were like, you would make a great concierge. And I'm thinking, well, I know how to get from my house to this hotel, but I'm good with maps. I'll figure it out. So 13 years later and many accolades and all sorts of fun things later, I am still a concierge. I'm in West Hollywood now, but I've worked many years in Beverly Hills. And a couple years ago, it actually was a sort of happy accident. I was taking a writing course, and the instructor wanted everybody to do a vlog. And I'm like, what am I going to vlog about?
Because a writing course. To do a vlog for a writing course is so interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, in Los Angeles, keep in mind, everybody's doing film and TV. And so basically, it was a writing course for a web series. So he's like, while you're writing this web series, create your own vlog. And I remember thinking, what on earth am I going to talk about? This is okay. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to talk about what people ask me about all the time on a regular basis. Nobody's going to want to watch this. No, it's not a big deal. First video, everybody was like, this is amazing. And I'm like, really? And so it turned into this whole thing. And we've now done over 200 videos. And so we cover everything in Los Angeles, but also when I get to travel, cover other cities as well too.
So fun.
Yeah. And it just really, it turned into this whole other thing of its own. And it's so exciting and it's so cool. And as I always like to say, I'm really living on the front lines of travel, not only when I'm at the hotel and I'm working day to day with travelers actually that are there at the hotel, but also online, because people write to me all the time. Where should I go?
Oh my gosh.
I'm here. So it's been really cool to get to interact with people again, not only at the hotel, but all of a sudden outside of it, and go kind of, as I like to say, also beyond the desk. So
yeah,
so much the world that we're living in today.
So much fun, but we know there are obstacles, and you've come across some of those. So it sounds like to me, you're like I am. You say yes to a lot of things. What are some of the obstacles you faced?
The personal real obstacle is saying no more often. That's
Yeah.
for sure. That's for sure. You know, it's interesting. I mean, for me, it's definitely a challenge. I mean, there are a lot of different challenges and everything that you just kind of have to balance. Now, kind of understanding that I've created this thing which I love, and it's my baby, and it I spend a lot of time with it. But I also understand that I represent a profession as well too, because now I have the word concierge tied into my name. So, and not that I would ever do anything disrespectful, but it gives a heightened awareness to what I do. Also does have a trickle down effect and can influence or color somebody's opinion of what the profession is. So hopefully the whole point is that it inspires people to reach out to concierge and that they're more accessible. I mean, that's kind of the goal, but also being mindful, you know, to keep everything appropriate and not necessarily be overly negative or anything in regards to that. So
Right.
that's kind of a big sort of, you know, challenge just to be mindful of. But I mean, you know, as far as obstacles, isn't every day there's an obstacle, and I just look at it as like, okay, you know what, we're gonna kind of like work with it, and if it ends up being an actual roadblock, oh, maybe this actually wasn't the direction in which to go, and it's like redirect. I mean, there are a couple of different things that if I've like worked on a different project or have certain goals and maybe things didn't work out in a timely manner, I'm like, okay, you know what? I could sit here and kind of bang my head against the wall, which does no one any good. Or I can sit there and I can focus on the things that I can control. And so that's why I just focus on creating as many videos as possible and really focusing on the things that I like. And I'm like, if I like it, most likely other people will like it too. So I've been pretty good so far.
Yeah. Now, viewers, listen to this. You're hearing high performer language in a lot of what we're hearing. So a lot of what Sarah's saying are things that high performers think. The way you think affects the way you behave, affects the goals that you achieve, et cetera, et cetera. So pay attention to what she's saying. This is good stuff. So, okay, what advice do you have for women who are struggling, maybe who want to be successful, or maybe just want to be more successful?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the simple advice is one foot in front of the other. Because I think so often, especially as women, we can really see the big picture, which is great. That's such a great thing because we have the foresight to see 5 steps down the line. And not to say that men don't, but just like with our intuition and understanding, you know, people more and having more of those skills, it's a fantastic asset. But I think at times it can also be very heavy. And that, like, for example, next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at this big picture. I don't even know where to begin. And it's like, okay, cool. Write that out, have that plan. And it's like, okay, what are the action steps that I can do today?
Exactly.
This week, what can I do this month?
Break it down. Yeah.
100% break it down. And then also, you know, that the female aspect, as far as, again, being so intuitive and working well with others, a lot of that also is, I feel that women also, there's an energy exchange there, and sometimes it can also be very draining to have that exchange. So to really be mindful and to incorporate self-care into your regular routine. So many people are like just focused on the goal, and the next thing you know, they're depleted, and it's like, well, you don't have anything left to give yourself, your dreams, if you're constantly doing everything else for other people. And it's okay to do things for other people, but just take the moment for yourself to, I like to say, like, feed the machine, you know what I mean? And then keep going towards those goals.
Yes. Yay. It's the first time I've cheered for the advice of I mean, we always get great advice, but I feel like I've met my soul sister. It's so true. Yes. Thank you for being on the show today, Sarah.
Gosh, thank you so much for having me.
Where can people find you?
So you guys can find me online. I am all over social media. So you can find me pretty much at Ask a Concierge. But if you want to just keep it simple, you can go to my website, askaconcierge.tv, and go from there.
Great. And we'll have that link as well as your social media in the show notes for today.
Perfect. Thank
Easy
you
for
so
people
much.
to find you. That's it for today, my friends. We've exhausted all our questions. I'm Susan Barangini Moe, and this has been the Women in Business Collective show. I do these shows most weekdays, usually around 10:30 in the morning Eastern time, depending on my guests' schedules. You know, we might just show up on some day. You don't know. So keep your eyes open if you think you might be a good guest for the show, or you know someone who might be. Visit us at womeninbusinesscollective.com to learn more about how you can apply. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.